Braces for a potential Israeli retaliation after Iran's weekend attack. Tehran is warning it will use weapons never used before against Israel if it carries out an attack. Watch our next report for more.
In the face of the Israeli threat of retaliation, Iran says it is putting together a terrifying arsenal of anti-craft launchers and fighter jets. It is also threatening to fire weapons that have never been used before. All this, it says, to present a severe, extensive and painful response to even the slightest action by Israel.
If the Zionist regime makes the slightest move to violate our territory and harm the national interests of the Islamic Republic, they must understand that they will face a severe and heavy response.
Iran's warning has been accompanied by a parade of its drones, missiles and soldiers to show it is ready for any response from Israel. Over the weekend, Iran launched hundreds of missiles and kamikaze drones at Israel. This was in response to a purported Israeli strike on Iran's embassy compound in Syria's Damascus on April 1st. Among the 12 people killed were 2 Iranian generals. While Israel claims 99% of Iranian projectiles were neutralized and has pledged to retaliate hard, it is refusing to say when and how.
We cannot stand still from this kind of aggression. Iran will not get scot-free with this aggression.
The British Foreign Secretary David Cameron and his German counterpart Annalena Baerbock are the first Western envoys to visit Israel. They are urging calm, but it seems unlikely that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is paying heed.
It's clear the Israelis are making a decision to act. We hope they do so in a way that does as little to escalate this as possible.
Iran is calling the barrage of missiles fired on Israel as an act of self-defense. After the deadly airstrike on its consulate in Syria, it has said that it will consider the matter concluded unless Israel retaliates. All eyes are now on Netanyahu's next move. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
All right, for more on this, we are being joined by Sergei Sumelny from Berlin. He is defense expert and a director at European Resilience Initiative Center. Thank you so much for joining us on WION. Iran now says that it will use weapons never used before should Israel retaliate. Is Iran threatening the use of nuclear weapons?
Hello, and thank you for having invited me today to your show. It's always a pleasure. Well, we know that the threats from Iran are always pretty unconcrete, and that is part of the psychological warfare which Iran is using all the time. It doesn't announce anything specific, but allows the counterpart to interpret to the extent as large as possible. And we know that the war is the path of lie, and as more the enemy believes that you are strong when you're weak, and you're weak when you're strong, that's better for you because the enemy cannot take the right decision. I think that here Iran has its vital interest to make the threat as unconcrete as possible.
What about the Biden administration? It appears that it's walking a tight diplomatic line to calm tensions. What are your thoughts about how President Biden is handling this chaos?
Well, we can see that the support of Israel by the Biden administration is pretty large and massive. And here, I think that one of the reasons for that is to sort of de-escalate the situation. Because, like the latter, the last thing which the U.S. has interest in is that Israel retaliates massively and probably using nukes. So, in order to prevent Israel from designing the retaliation action in a broad way and in a way which is not in interest of the US, as I said, for example, using nukes, the US demonstrates a broad presence in the region and says literally the Israelis, look, take it easy, stay calm, we will do the job, we will do the rest, you don't intervene. And I think that for Biden, it is, and for the US overall, it is in their interest to keep this conflict between Iran and Israel as low as possible, because just the US cannot fight on many fields. The US has Ukraine, from where the US is pulling out. The US has Iran now. The US potentially has Taiwan and China conflict. So they don't have an interest in escalating of this conflict.
Okay, very interesting. Well, thank you so much, Sergey Somleny, for joining us from Berlin on WION. I look forward to speaking to you again very soon as we follow this story very closely, of course. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.